So hi everyone, this is a little quick demonstration for you with regard to Shamanic Vogel Extraction. I'm going to show you the two methods that I know of that are very powerful in extracting something that is bothering you either physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, that kind of thing. It will go to where it needs to go for the highest and best good of all, always. So what we have here is a Vogel that is wider on top, narrower here on the bottom. The facets will be different. This one happens to be 12 faceted. So as I mentioned before, the Vogel itself has been designed and crafted by Marcel Vogel. And there are some that are even up to 144 facets. And the more facets you are, the more light's refracted, the more healing that can occur. It's really awesome. So this is a quartz Vogel for magnification. So now when you're about to start any healing session, just as a quick recap, there is, of course, you're gonna cleanse your space, make sure it's a nice cleared space, unless you're out in nature, and then it's always clear because it's nature. Maybe you're saging, and then of course you're opening a nice circle, calling in your guides, calling in the four directions, the horizontal axis and the vertical axis of the upper, the middle and the lower world. Let's see. So then you've called that all in. So now here, what you do with your client is you have them start to explain if there's any issues that they'd like to work on with regard to this Shamanic Vogel extraction. They may or may not have something they like to work on, or the Vogel will just go where it needs to go anyway. The work, the energy work will go to the highest and best good always. So is there anything you'd like to work on, Tom?
Well, I didn't know there'd be a quiz, but I'm thinking, since I was not feeling well today, should I be looking here? Since I was not feeling well today, if the Vogel is going to go where it's supposed to go, it might just kind of counteract whatever I intend to do that. Is that correct? Or if it's going to go where it's supposed to go.
Highest and best good always.
Okay, so if I state an intention, but then the Vogel decides that, well, you weren't feeling so hot today, I need to go there first.
Yeah.
Is it going to go there first?
It may just go there the first. And what's really cool about the Shamanic Vogel extraction is it's still going to, with your intention and the light scent, your intention will make it more powerful to also extract anything extra that it's meant to extract. So if there's a specific memory or trauma that you'd like to release, you can do that. If there's a specific pattern or something from that's happening that you see happening over and over again, maybe that's to be extracted and released and something you want to work on. So like the possibilities are endless.
All right, well, let's keep it simple, and we'll go after me feeling better so I can go to work tomorrow.
Awesome. Okay. I also think that comes down to the pattern of money. I think that it was linked, and that was a part of your lesson today with regard to not worrying when money is there, the fear and all of that. So I think that that's a part of what can be extracted, is that continuing to solidify what you've already, we talked about this off camera, what you were already starting to work on and figure out is worry only begets more worry. So we're going to extract that. We're going to align our vibration with that which we desire and allow ourselves to reach for that, instead of being here where we've always been, or where something drags us down. And we can decide to be in that vibration, or we can choose to say, no, we're going to choose a better way. And you do your best with those life challenges, but then you do your best to reach your vibration higher and do the things that get you into that higher vibration, so it's a more pleasing vibration, and challenges flow with more ease and they are extracted with more ease. Anyway.
Yeah, and for the record, what we were talking about was when things come up, just got to say the heck with it. And then right before we hit roll, I got a money-related text in there, so.
So ready?
Put your money where your mouth is.
So there are two ways to do this. I'm going to show you the one that has a little bit more talking to it, and you can decide which one in any given moment that you would like to do. the one that's, I love keeping things simple, not making it too difficult, and just, it's easy to just do it and go. So the keep it simple stupid is, of course, one of many ways that you can do this shamanic Vogel extraction technique. I'll show you that one after I show you this one, because I don't want to forget the steps. So Marcel Vogel, like I mentioned, is the one who designed these Vogels. So what he has come up with his testing and all of the methods that he went through with the Vogels, and just double terminated one, period. So like if you don't have a Vogel, you don't have one right now, you can just get a double terminated one where it just has 2 points on each end, and you'll be able to do this technique still. The Vogel just adds extra power to it, and scientifically, quantum healing, like all the things. So what you do first is you're going to connect to the thymus of your recipient. So the thymus is, so here's your heart chakra, the center of your entire being. Just above your heart chakra is the thymus, which is also known as the high heart chakra. And the technique that you can do is tapping there, period, actually reduces anxiety and makes you feel more peaceful. I think in part because of the acupressure points and that energy, but also because it is your reminder to your connection to the galactic heart center. So when you find that that's somewhat, it's kind of centered, it's somewhat, you may, I don't tend to hear it or in mind, but I kind of feel where I know I'm supposed to go, but you may feel or hear some sort of hollowness, and that's where you want that Vogel to be about. So you're going to try to find that on your recipient without touching them usually. So here what you do is you pretty much know where it is, higher than the heart center, and then you bring it in. One hand is behind the thymus, so you're going to keep that one hand behind, and the Vogel hand, I'm choosing the wide end in, and you bring it into the body, and they're going to be balanced with each other, parallel to each other, the Vogel and the other hand behind the recipient. Could you step forward just a little so they can see? So we have, when you get in, you're going to start to feel the energy. The more empathic you are with energy and feeling and clairsentient, the easier you'll feel that energy, but you will also intuit with your gifts. You may see it psychically, you may feel it energetically, you may feel it, you may just know, okay, I'm there. So you can get a knowing. So everyone's going to be a little different with their stronger psychic ability, and you just kind of feel it out. So once you get hit that like etheric body and you get in close to that thyroid, you're going to be about an inch or two away from the body, and then feel that link, and you can breathe into it. And sometimes it takes a few seconds, it might take a little longer, and it's just about being patient and feeling the energy and just enjoying the process. And at this point, you have already had maybe a quick discussion with your client about what they may want to focus on. So here, then you begin to really connect with your client, the Vogel energy, and the energy of the issue. So you just start to bring the Vogel up and down, and notice that the back hand is going to match where the Vogel is, up and down. And then you can go forward and back a little bit, feel out the energy too. And then when you get there, then you can start to go up and down, not hitting your face. Once you go, you start to just do this up and down action and really get that connection going. You can start to tell your client to breathe in, and you breathe in at the same time. So inhale, and then breathe out. And you keep doing that. Inhale, and try to sync your breath with your client. And then eventually just coming to a natural rhythm of breathing, syncing your breath together if possible. Maybe from the throat chakra down to the solar plexus area, just hovering over the thymus chakra. And then you'll start, once you feel ready, to do a little oval action in the same, where you're going to go clockwise with the right hand. So your right hand goes clockwise. You're doing that spiral with the right hand. So you're just going to match the left hand with the right hand's motion. And then you feel that, and then have your client begin to focus on the issue that they came in to talk about and discuss, and at the same time that you are, and at the same time you're thinking positive thoughts, positive light, aligning with the Vogel to magnify the intention of light and love. So Dawn, begin to focus on what your issue is, and just begin to really focus on it. Maybe focus on where it is in your body, or just focus on what the actual issue is to be extracted. And as you focus, really, really, really begin to feel that it's going to come out and be extracted. Just feel that it's time for it to go, and then just start, as you're focusing on that issue, I'm focusing on that issue, and we're sending it light, we're sending it love, we're sending it upliftment, and we're going to begin that extraction of that issue so it goes completely. So here, really, really focus on it. Really, really begin to intensify that focus. And then when you feel ready, when you feel like they really have it, and maybe you ask them, do you have it? Do you really have it? Okay. And then you just keep going until they're really good and focused. So he said to give him a minute, so I'll give him a minute as I continue with the energy, sending it light, sending it love, positive upliftment. Okay, and as they are ready, you're really, really focusing on it. Focus, 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 and then release. So what you're doing is you're bringing it out with both hands and the Vogel, and then you're letting go with the back hand. You can open it and release it. Obviously, don't release the crystal, don't drop it. And then do that a few times. Maybe you need a couple more. 3 is a good number in spirituality, so maybe you do it again. And then keep doing that, and then close that fist of the left hand. Exhale and release. So you do that, and then to close this out, start to just come back, and then you're going to start to sway up and down with your left and right hand being kind of opposite each other.
Am I swaying too?
No. Okay. The person doing the act will be swaying, and if you end up actually aligning with the action of the energy, you feel free. But this is what's going to close out this process, and then once you feel you're complete, you can be done. If you feel like there's more work after that, then you'll just do a little extra here where you're gonna do that big oval, keep the hand going all the way around, matching the Vogel action to get all of the chakras in there, encompassing and expanding that healing energy all the way around. And then when you feel like that's good, then you're going to place one hand on the back behind the thymus, take your Vogel and place it over the thymus and hold. And this is your first actual physical contact with the body. And then you hold for as long as you feel needed, maybe a few moments, a few breaths. And just as we love to do, the final most important part of any healing session and throughout the entire session is the energy of love, and you can encompass that in the end by sending positive thoughts, sending light and love, and giving them a hug. So now I'm going to show you the other one, which is a little bit faster. So you've already created your sacred space, you've brought forward, and you can sit back for this one. So this one is good whether they're on the table or seated, it's totally fine. So with a Shamanic Vogel Extraction, let's say you've come to an area of their body, they need some healing. Passively, you might not even be talking during the session, but energetically, you're just, here, I need to focus on this, I need to extract this. Or maybe you talk with them during the session too, when you figure out what the issue might be. Perhaps something pops into their brain at the same time, so that can happen too. So, so with your Vogel, we want the wide end facing the issue. So let's say it's at that heart center area. So here I'm just going to start to scoop. And sometimes you can do like little figure eights. You can really scoop, almost like a spoon, scooping energetically out anything that's left. And then when you scoop, you're going to send it down. So the best practice to do is before you start, or before you know that you need to do the extraction part, is to open an energetic trash can or to set an intention that it will go to Mother Earth. So the way you can do that is you can either do that with your hand. Your hand is your magical wand if you don't have one anyway. So you can just open a trash can and just say, I intend to consecrate this as the portal of light to send down all that no longer serves, all that we are extracting deep into Mother Earth, where Gaia can transmute into pure light. So once you're done, then you can close it. And so what you can do is clockwise to open, counterclockwise to close, or you just decide intuitively if it's opposite. Maybe for you to open something, it's counterclockwise, to close it, it's clockwise. So everyone's going to be a little different. So let's say you've opened that trash can. So now we're scooping some out, and we're going to use the narrow end to send it down into that portal, into Earth. And we're going to keep scooping until we feel like, okay, I think we're really done now. So that might be a few times. You might have to keep going. You might be just scooping for a little bit. And then once you're done, then you can, or maybe you want to keep it open till the end of the session. Then you'll close it. And you can do this with your hand, or you can use the Vogel, where you open with the Vogel, saying what you're going to do. I'm going to open this portal to send all that no longer serves to Gaia. And then when you're ready to close, you're just going to counterclockwise with your Vogel, and it's closed. So you just decide, okay, now I'm closing this portal, and now Gaia can take that energy, transform it into pure light, send it to where it needs to go for the highest and best good of all on the planet. Now, the other part that I want to mention is when you've extracted something from someone, you want to send light into that area, because you've created space. You've made a hole, and the universe abhors a vacuum. So we want to make sure we send in white light into that area that you've extracted. So you've pulled out, so now just fill it back up with pure energy, pure light. You can focus on light-filled thoughts, and then nice and done. So that's two ways. One that's a little faster in explaining it to you. The other one's just the more traditional way that Marcel Vogel teaches. So I just wanted to make sure you had two methods to help you decide which one works for you in any moment, or just keep switching back and forth. I hope this was a very helpful tutorial for you on Shamanic Vogel Extraction.